made the right choice. Hard to say, but we'll decide together. I propose we can hunt anywhere, and I believe it's time we stepped out of the shadows. Yes, I will. Perhaps what awaits us now is death at Camelot's hand. We no longer have a god to aid us in battle, or in our struggles with the world. But you know what? So, it's time for this fine...
You can... Excellent. Now, all I need... Whoever... Risk? I bet the fight and all...
You tread where others dare not. Speak, mortal. Trigva. If you show me, you can the heart and the mind. The heart only then. The beast lies slain, its heart and mind laid bare.
Well met. By the stones, do you have any idea? Forging a weapon from them is the pinnacle of the Stone Warden's craft. It's a feat. You've brought us to the peak of what we can do. It would be the giants entrusted their strength to you. Watch closely. It is done. The strength of the giants.
Return, but not as before. Why would they favor the giants? Their blessing. You think I am the lone pillar, the chosen. Enough, then. You are speak, conqueror. Stroner, always meddling. So be it. Lead well, Strong. Lead them better than I.
You fought bravely, and I have heard me, the new chieftain. I never sought this.
A fine choice, truly. You fought for the Ulfer, and you've done well.
I'm humbled, really. I'll make sure our tribe is. Thank you for everything. Now that you've spoken to the giants and put I hope the voices are silent. I couldn't have done that. First, I need to get this Thrigvi nonsense out of their head. Ulfr might. Before long, he'll be after that. And there's nothing the Ulfr. You have my thanks.
Well,
with magic. My fellow companions, they're waiting. Pour the magic into me, feed me with the glow. Or they're waiting for the passage to...
Halt! And just...
You don't belong here. Mother speaks and I... Mother is everything. Strength. Run!
Greetings, stranger. I'm anxious. Ah, Taig. Taig was a problem. Someone would have granted him that death long ago, so he suffered. Your act was... We'll need... Really? Me? A representative of the madman... What? Does he want them to laugh in... An agreement. For centuries, every tribe has only looked up. Besides, with the others there, we'll never be treated as equals. That's what we are in the eyes of the other Dalrita. Sure, they respect our berserker's fury when it's not too frequent. But deep down, they see it. Unfortunately, there is one thing. Not the... Yeah,
Ah, so you're the one who lit up these sad old Almost. This tribe. Once hailed as mighty warriors. If it's not their matron they're hoping for, then it's for... They've lost their That's what they call their priestess. She disappeared long ago. They act...
That is without a doubt the work of the throne he sat upon. It is carved into the lone pillar, a very powerful artifact, more powerful than I had ever imagined. The lone pillars have long emanated a powerful energy that we never fully understood. At first, we thought they worked like menhirs, but when they showed no such properties, we paid them little mind. And once I give still, when the table and
So... Maybe he was. You see, my... Exactly?
Stay focused! Someone's out there! We'll make short work of you.
Really? How? Thank you. And frig. This without. Yeah.
Hello again, fellow outsider. It's you be the so It's always a pleasure to see you, fellow outsider. Oh, now that you're the one who put in all the hard work after all. Oh, you're back. I tried following you, but the door shut right in front of my face. Almost on my nose, to be honest. Maybe I could go in now, but first I'd rather you just tell me what happened in there. A Fort Dweller? Ah, so it's just as I suspected. But why would a Fort Dweller... Oh, I see now! According to the Volker Mater was supposed to lend them her blood has power, if you believed it could make you invincible. War is disgusting. But I... Well... The potion is sacred to the Volker. He worried that instead of giving his tribe a new purpose, it would only... And... Don't mention it. It's been a pleasure. I think I'll stay here for a while. Who knows? In the meantime, try not to get into too...
Bless. No, nothing wrong. But you don't look like a beha- Tige. He'd give his life for his wife. But I doubt she knows that because the poor lad can't get a word. Oh, she's always come too eager and aggressive and cheeky. What do you mean? Oh, you gave him an honor. Your mother should be proud of you. I thought I was helping him. He would come to me, talk about help. What is... Thank you. I promise I'll make Mather's light shine.
With our luck, but the totem, was it with her? Could it be, but this isn't the end of Elspeth, the girl chosen to be the next matron? Certain. She was well liked. Nobody would have... We need a matron. And if she... Maybe you should check Elspeth's hut.
You? What you? You're the reason Elspeth is dead now. If you brought back the matron's totem, we hoped it would stay lost forever. No. Frigg had chosen Elspeth's mother as her successor, but then Frigg disappeared and Elspeth's mother fell ill. Everyone feared that even if the totem was found, we'd be left. She never wanted it. But you don't refuse your dying mother, do you? We thought the tribe... But then... And bring down the wrath of they that... I wanted... Yeah. Take...
Dead by road. How could she do this? We need... The tribe cannot support. I cannot force anyone to take the mantle. Find us a matron stranger. Someone willing. Find us a matron stranger, and I will attend the moot. Yes. What in the blade? How? But the women were old, and it's not like she have... Aye, look, these have been... There is no Volker without... Careful. You went into the temple. I am listening. Our tribe is barbarians. I don't. It's just the Camelosians call us savage. Should we change? Or, and then there's... Oh, he's never going to... I know. But with that... I know, but think... And I... We'll see what... And I suppose we'll... Every day will be...
So my ticket... Oh, if only I could get my hands on... Not like I have much... Thank...
Yes? This pleases me. Their skill. How did you manage to move here? Could it be take a gift? You have no idea. The members of the Ulfred tribe are always the first to fight. Without them. So, allow me to offer... Go now, my king, and reclaim your crown.
his burden, the man beneath the myth. I am the face that time forgot, the name that was never enough.
First, you used these people to win yourself a kingdom, and now you herded them here under threat of being stomped to death by giants if they leave or disobey. After all that they've gone through, all that they've done, all that they've suffered, this is how you intend to repay them?
No kingdom will stand with people like them within its borders. They would have to change their ways. The Del Rita are not ready for this. You know this.
You did worse than all of them combined, and you are the one responsible for all they've done so far. They fought for your name and under your banners. Does this mean you're not fit to be a king? Not ready to have a kingdom?
I left the heritage of Pendragon behind me. I severed the ties between myself and my tribe. I lost all that tied me to the past when I became king. I set a new path for myself. They are not ready to do that.
Bullshit! You forced them to go against their sacred traditions. You destroyed their identities. They betrayed their comrades because you ordered them to. They kidnapped the children of the giants because you told them to do it. Everything they did was so that you could win this war. And now what? You're going to punish them for being your best, fiercest soldiers, most loyal of your men?
This is not...
Oh, stop with your excuses already. You broke them, and now you're abandoning them to starve or freeze to death in these damned lands.
This kingdom needs to be built on peace, Caradoc. Letting them live among merchants, lords, and ladies in Camelot or Timberwall. How would that go?
Exactly as anyone would expect it to go.
So we would end up with a civil war. Right after we won the war that almost annihilated us all.
Oh, damn you. I've had enough. I stood by you through everything. Even what you did to me. To Seawall. I let it all slide. I told myself it was for something. For a noble cause. But this is where I draw the line. I renounce my oaths, and I'm walking away. Put a blade in my back if that helps you sleep. I don't care. Not anymore.
Now I remember it all. I left the best of my people here. I betrayed their loyalty. And for what? Everything is in ruin. Everything I struggled to build is corrupted. This land, it had a glorious past, but it has no future. There is no way to save it. I know. I see it now. And it was my decision that cost them the ability to grow and change. I may have been right about the diagnosis. Now I see I could have been wrong about the cure. The tribes helped us win the war. They were fearless and followed every order. They They were the most loyal of all. But I left them broken. And after the war, their bloodlust was insatiable. I had to do something. This felt like the only choice. The giants sided with our enemy. We had to find a way to remove them from the equation. So, under cover of night, the tribes stole their children. I told the giants their offspring were our hostages, and that we would slaughter them if they refused to bend the knee. One of the most humiliating moments of that whole war, both for me and for the Del Rita. I come from the Pendragon bloodline, a heritage drenched in as much blood as that of the Del Rita. A heritage that pillaged and fought in the homelands for longer than anyone can remember, and unable to build anything that withstood the test of time. I decided to leave it behind me when we won the war against the Four-Dwellers, and built our kingdom on Avalon on stronger foundations. Now we've seen that my bloodline must have been cursed. Caradoc had the clearest eyes of any of us. He saw things for what they were, and I think I destroyed that. Destroyed him with all I did. I turned him into this. And now he's only a shadow of the man I once knew. He used to carry hope. Now all he carries is vengeance. There's nothing left. Nothing worth saving. Nothing worth rebuilding. I gave everything I had to this land. My blood, my soul, my name. And the land devoured it all. I betrayed the ones who believed in me. I cut down the men who fought for me. I turned away from my own blood to build something better. And all I built was another ruin. I thought I was forging a future. I was just extending the fall. Do what you want. There's nothing about this land that I recognize anymore. All I've ever done got turned into dust, corrupted against my intentions, destroyed. Why bother?
Once and future king, you return. Speak your will through the mortal you now inhabit. Is it time for us to awaken? The Del Rita have long been our allies. Through their eyes, we have watched your kingdom fall into corruption. Camelot will fall. Your will shall be done.
We are ready to begin the moot. We were only waiting for your return, once and future king. You were strong enough to walk the king's thread, and you conquered it. What is your will, my king? What decision have you made regarding the giants? Glory be to you, once and future king. Fame and honor to you for all time. Thanks to you, Camelot will fall, and with it the dead laws and the suppression of the Dalrida tribes. Thank you, my king, for your intervention. I, the voice of the Dalrida tribes, accept your decision with humility and gratitude.
No. How would I? The truth is, that war made monsters out of us all. The way they looked, the way they wielded the weirdness. I don't condone what the Volker did. Now you ask me, when it was you managed to unite all of the Gerfana should be.
So, you finally made it. Took you long enough. I hope you're ready, because this is it. The beginning of the end. This is the Charred Conclave, a graveyard for druids, burned alive as scapegoats for the Red Death. It's a reminder of what happens when people fear what they don't understand. To greet you, I was once where you are now, a knight, and here I found my own. Just remember, once you've stepped through, but if you've come this far, I suppose you go on.
At last we meet. I've heard much about you, your choices, your determination. Caradoc isn't easily impressed, but he was impressed with you. Few dare to seek the truths buried in Avalon's shadows. Fewer still make it this far. I was the first. Caradoc followed when my brethren burned and the tear opened. And now, here you are, a truly rare and joyful occasion. Oh, forgive my lack of manners. I am Orin, the last apprentice of Merlin, and the last archdruid of Avalon. I've carried the weight of this land's secrets longer than I care to admit. But names mean little. What matters is the task before us. What lingers here, it's older than Avalon, older than anything we know. What you see is the beginning of weirdness itself. Its purest form, raw potential, unshaped by anything but its lack of boundaries and limits. Beautiful, isn't it? Oh, precisely the opposite of what Caradoc wants. I want you to help me resurrect King Arthur, properly this time. Ridiculous, I know. But yes, that's what it boils down to. At some point, we stopped seeing eye to eye and chose different paths. Ultimately, though, both our paths led to you. Yes, please let me explain. By the end of his life, Arthur became obsessed with his legacy. He left mementos, artifacts that embodied the virtues he wanted Avalon to preserve. Excalibur, a symbol of loyalty and sacrifice. The crown of Pendragon, a beacon of courage and resilience. The shield of Polymedes, wisdom and independence. But Merlin and the others didn't believe that would be enough. The memory of war and the fragility of peace was still too fresh. So they acted. When the king died, his soul wasn't allowed to move on. It was shattered, bound to those artifacts. A clever solution, but ultimately flawed. I tried, and I found his humanity. It's here, bound, kept safe. But the Four Dwellers' aspects was left to drift, untethered between worlds. Finding it needed more than magic. It needed someone like you. The horrors you endured on that island gave you something no one else has. You can move through the weirdness, touch it, and return whole. That's why you found the king's soul, bound it to yourself and came back. You flatter me. No, I couldn't have predicted all of that. I merely nudged the Red Church in the right direction and asked Caradoc to assist where I couldn't. I can see you're still doubting me. I want to bring back our king, whole and complete. I want him to lead again and safeguard Avalon's future. Because I've seen what happens without him. Weirdness preys on the weak, and the people are too divided to stand against it alone. Arthur is their only hope. Ever they're left without him, without guidance, chaos takes hold. Division festers. You've seen it during your journeys. If things continue this way, Avalon will tear itself apart long before weirdness finishes the job. Then Avalon falls, and with it everything we fought to protect. But I don't believe I'm wrong. Help me bring the king back, whole and complete. That's all I ask of you. Now you need to go further. I made my case. Please keep in mind what I told you. This is the only way for Avalon to survive.
I was there when it all began. When we believed in him. In every battle felt like... But then came the cost. We turned from knights. At first I told myself that's when Arthur wasn't a god. And no man should have the power to demand. But do you understand what? I'd like to believe that after 600 years I've moved past. You need to understand that people thought and still think that he wasn't. He made mistakes. I've seen what happens when people... But that's not my problem. What comes after doesn't matter. Let it all burn. Call it chaos, call it freedom, I don't care. Let them rise, let them fall. Let them tear each other up. I just want to watch it all come down. To see the last lie collapse. What comes after? That's for the ones still standing. Then let it. If this world can't stand without a... Let them stand, let them fall. At least it won't be another king's failure. Arthur's the only myth that still holds weight. And when he's gone, the rest will rot with him. A puppet king, another empty throne. Maybe they'll keep pretending for a while. Maybe they won't. I've lived longer than any man should. Seen more than anyone should ever bear. And I've waited centuries for this. And we'll never know if that's true, because we've never tried. And who ever said that we were meant to survive the weirdness at all? We were fools to tamper with forces we didn't understand. Resurrecting Arthur, infusing him with powers of the weirdness. We didn't just bend the natural laws, we shattered them. Such violations of nature's order cannot go unanswered. The bill comes due. Sooner or later. Always. This cannot be allowed to continue. Listen, it's taken longer than I ever imagined. But now, here we are. You've brought Arthur's soul back together. Almost complete. but not quite. And because of you, I can finally finish what I started centuries ago. So, thank you for bringing us to this moment. You're close now. Just one more step. And then we'll meet again. As allies or as enemies. That's up to you. Go. Find the last piece, and let's end this. Whatever comes next, I'll be ready. I hope you will be too.
You've come. The one who carries what's left of me. Please, don't come any closer. Don't force me to think about coming back again. Just let me finally die. Because I've had enough. Enough of... Do you know what it is like to be a king of nothing? To see the people you swore to protect suffer because of your choices? Or worse, in your name. I've seen and most of all, he thinks ending me will free Avalon. But what then? Without an idea, a light to guide them, they'll stumble, lose their way, and turn on each other. People always seek something to follow, something to believe in. Take that away, and they'll tear each other apart trying. Orin wants a king, not me. He doesn't see the broken man behind the myth. He sees a symbol, but symbols aren't people. Do you know what it's... I want release. I want to stop being a tool in their endless struggle. Kill me. Destroy the last piece of me and use the energy however you... Just don't let me come back. Let me die. Not a... Isn't that what you've been doing all along? Carrying what's left of him? You've already... Doesn't that prove Arthur doesn't need me anymore? I don't... Another do... And I just let me... Nice to see you.
Help me bring the king back. Hold now, I meant this.
Go on.
Always a pleasure to see you. Let me...
You carried a dying king across the bones of a dying world Now you stand before what started it all. An idea. I am the reason there must be an ending. I do not guide. I do not judge. I exist so that something can be chosen. I do not offer meaning. I require that one be made. You have brought all things to their conclusion. Now, decide what must remain. Choose, and let the shape of the world follow. You will be seen. You will be followed. You will be blamed. You will shape the world to become its witness. You will break the frame, and what follows will not remember you. You will vanish into the story you chose to restore. Then the idea shall be claimed, its shape worn, its burden made yours. But first, you have to bring silence to what refuses to be forgotten.
If this is what you want, then take it, my friend. But promise me you will learn from my mistakes.
No, I won't let this happen. Not again.
You think any other human could wield this power? I endured 600 years of pain, of suffering, of loneliness. I made the sacrifices, me! And now you think you can take it from me? The hubris. No. I reject your claim. I will reforge Avalon. Perfect this time.
You took Arthur's power for yourself. Whatever drove you, need, ambition, or will alone, the strength of a king was now yours to command. Maybe you weren't ready. Maybe nobody ever is. But you decided to try. It's a heavy thing, trying to do right where others have failed. Still, you stepped forward, carrying the soul and every choice that brought you here. You ruled not as Arthur reborn, but as yourself, flawed, resolute, untested. Avalon changed beneath your hand, and history will decide what that truly meant. With One Eye and Captain Brandon working side by side, the South found a peace it hadn't known in years. The roads stayed open, the fields were guarded, and the people finally felt safe. No longer bound to Camelot or the Knights of the Round Table, it became a land ruled by its own people on its own terms. Because of you, the men here remained and the Kuanacht endured, not just as a place, but as a legacy of quiet defiance and hope. Lord Yvain was remembered as a hero who gathered the wise and set out in search of the Grail, while Kuanacht stood as a peaceful haven amid the weirdness. You awakened the giants, and with them at their side, the Dal Rita conquered Camelot. As the capital fell, the customs of the tribes spread across Avalon. Not everyone welcomed them, but the change had already taken root. Fergus was named the new Galahad the Loyal. With One Eye and Brendan backed by the Dal Rita the Forlorn Swords, he saw that the South's alliance was strong enough to stand on its own. He urged Camelot to leave the South in peace and turned his attention to securing the rest of Avalon. The captain led the South to independence, breaking all ties with Camelot. Under his rule, the Horns of the South flourished. Merchants, pilgrims, and adventurers returned to the roads, and prosperity once again reached the far corners of the land. One Eye ruled the South, with the Horns of the South at his side. Over time, the Dal Rita of the Fallen Swords rallied to his banner, forging a unified force. With the South secured, he stood in a strong position to launch future conquests across Avalon. Nianta left Kuanacht with Yvain, and her fate remained unknown. Yet among the people she once served, tales of her devotion and courage endured, and her name was remembered with respect. Maggot left Kuanacht alongside Yvain, surprising many who had long considered him harmless and weak. His fate remained unknown, but in time, the people spoke proudly of the last druid, claiming him as one of their own. Urfra left Kuanacht alongside Yvain, despite concerns about his age. His fate remained unknown, but the people admired him for finding purpose at the end of his life, and spoke of him with lasting respect. Ailey turned to the merchants for support, and for a time the hospital prospered. But when they began charging patients for care, she walked away and opened her own small practice, refusing to serve profit over healing. The Volker joined the rest of the Dal Rita without a matron and without Mathar's blessing. Even so, their warriors kept the ferocity they had once been famed for, tempered now by a clarity that left the other tribes uneasy. They were respected, but only barely. For what greater dishonor is there than turning one's back on the goddess who had made them what they were? Ingrid turned away from the eternal sleep, choosing life over dreams. In time, she began to rebuild the Thoid among the living, planting the first seeds of a new future for her scattered people. Under Stronar's leadership, the Ulfra found new strength. He rebuilt the tribe and reunited them with the rest of the Dal Rita, restoring their place among the tribes of the Forlorn Swords. With the Stagfather slain and the old bonds broken, Balaam led the Svine towards a new path. He opened the tribe to the other clans of the Dal Rita and guided them to settle in the Mather mines. You placed self at the head of the Children of Morrigan. Operating from the shadows, the Guild reshaped Avalon's politics through quiet influence and assassination, while the people lived unaware of the power that ruled them. You chose to dismantle the children of Morrigan. There were no more crows to carry out her will, for now. Morrigan withdrew into silence, patient as ever, waiting for the day when new souls would rise to serve her again. After returning to Camelot, Killian lived quietly for a time. When he vanished, few asked questions. Unsettling rumors had always followed him, and most preferred not to remember.